Welcome back to the deep dive. Our mission, as always, is pretty simple. We take your sources, we cut through all the noise,
And we pull out the crucial knowledge, the practical insights that you can, actually use right away.
and today we're getting into a really interesting uh, stack of source material.
It's fascinating, actually. It's a transcript from an English learning resource, but it's not your typical textbook. It uses this narrative structure.
The story.
Yeah, a story about one person's single catastrophic day,
Yeah.
and it uses that story to teach some really high-impact vocabulary for professionals.
Exactly. Our listener, the learner, sent this in because they saw it wasn't just a vocab list, it's really a shortcut to strategy.
Right?
So this deep dive isn't just us, defining words. We're analyzing a day that went wrong, and then wrong again.
To find what the source calls the English power-ups.
I love that term. These are the linguistic tools you need to manage stress, to keep your professional dignity, and to actually recover when things are just going sideways.
And for you, the learner, this is so relevant. I mean, you could be prepping for a big meeting or just trying to handle the chaos of daily life.
The goal here is to give you a toolkit so you sound composed, you sound natural, and you can sort of avoid that feeling of being overwhelmed.
Yeah, we're not going to drown you in info. We're focusing on the really memorable rescue lines that can change the whole narrative.
Okay, so let's get into it. Let's unpack this journey, which starts where so many bad days do,
In the morning.
in the very early morning.
Ah, yes. Scene 1. The snooze button disaster. The source actually gives this a panic level of 9 out of 10 right at the start.
Our poor character hits the snooze button. Not once, not twice, but 3 times.
And the source has this great line. It says, you're basically signing a contract with your bed.
It's so true. And the result is immediate. They wake up at 7.45 instead of 7:40, and you get that feeling, my stomach dropped.
Oh, we all know that feeling. Your heart just jumps and you think, oh no, I am late.
And you're rushing. You're still, like, half asleep.
So now you have to communicate this. And the key is, how do you do it without sounding like a total mess or writing this huge, long apology?
And this is our first key phrase. It's a simple, honest confession.
I overslept.
And I think the source makes a really important point about the language here. It says don't use phrases like, I slept more, or I slept extra.
Yeah, those just sound unnatural. They're not what a native speaker would say. I overslept is direct, it's correct, and it's professional.
And that precision is strategic, right? It's not just about grammar.
Exactly. I mean, most people feel this need to launch into what we call the apology essay, My alarm didn't go off, and then the dog was sick, and...
Right, a whole saga. But is being so brief really professional enough? I mean, doesn't your manager want to know why you're late?
That's the thing. The source argues that they don't need the drama, they just need 2 things. What's the problem and what's the solution?
Okay.
By just giving the facts, you manage their expectations and you stay in control of the communication.
So the perfect rescue line isn't just the confession. It's a confession plus the plan. I overslept. Give me 20 minutes. I'm on my way.
Yes. And the source rates this a 7 out of 10 on the recovery meter. You're still late. That's not fixed, but
you handled it calmly.
you handled it calmly. You chose one sentence that makes you sound confident and responsible, even if you're panicking on the inside.
Of course, because one disaster is never enough. This leads right into the domino effect of scene 2.
Absolutely. Because you're rushing, you start making what the source calls interesting decisions.
Which is a polite way of saying bad decisions.
A very polite way. The character's so flustered, that's a great word, meaning nervous and confused at the same time, that they just jump on the first bus they see.
Without checking the number, oh, that is the worst feeling. You look at your map, and that little blue dot is just
Going far, far away from the office.
late and in the wrong direction.
And that just adds to the feeling of being completely frazzled. That's another key term here. Frazzled is when you're tired, you're stressed, and you have like 0 patience left.
So your decision-making is shot. The mistake is made. How do you communicate the fix this time? What's the power-up?
It's admitting the specific mistake, I got on the wrong bus, and then you give the correction using a really important verb. Track, yeah.
Now, we usually think of that as, literally walking back.
And it is. Physically, it means going back the way you came, that walk of shame to the right bus stop. But linguistically, it's a signal.
A signal that you have a plan.
It says, I know I messed up, but I've already figured out the fix.
So the rescue line, Again, has to have the truth in the plan.
I got on the wrong bus. I'm backtracking. I'll be there in 10 minutes.
And this gets an even higher recovery score, right?
Yeah.
An 8 out of 10.
It does, and that's because you're not making excuses. You're just reporting the status and the fix. You've shifted from being the source of a problem to the source of a solution.
Okay, so our character finally makes it to the office. They're probably thinking, okay, the worst is over.
Which is always when the next thing happens.
Exactly. Now we're into the in-office crises. Scene 3.
The tech meltdown, the great equalizer of modern work.
So the character is in an important online meeting, and they're asked to share your screen.
They click the button, the slides pop up, and then you see it. The faces on the screen freeze. The slide is stuck. Your mouse won't move.
That internal scream. And the character immediately thinks of 2 phrases. The first is, "It froze on me."
And the second, when they realize it's a network issue, is my Wi-Fi is acting up. I mean, those 2 phrases are just essential for any online meeting.
Okay, but here's a question. Doesn't saying my Wi-Fi is acting up just sound like an excuse, even if it's true?
That's a great point, but I think in today's work culture, those phrases have become standard. They're accepted as sort of diagnostic language. The real stress here is about the repercussions, the negative consequences, and just looking unprofessional. Blaming the Wi-Fi is actually a way to say, the tech failed, not me.
So the goal is to sound composed, calm and in control, even when your brain is
On fire, as the source says.
right. It's about showing you're managing the interruption, not that the interruption is managing you.
You can't just disappear. You have to communicate the status and the fix.
Which brings us to the rescue line. Sorry, my Wi-Fi is acting up and it froze on me. I'll rejoin in 2 minutes.
And this gets a 9 out of 10 for recovery, a huge score, because you've made a tactical retreat with a very specific plan to return. You're using your words to look strong even when the tech is weak.
And the bad day just keeps rolling.
Yeah.
Scene 4 starts right after this. The character's calendar is completely overbooked.
Meaning way too many meetings, too many tasks. By lunchtime, they're slammed, which is such a good word for being incredibly busy.
Then the manager, who has no idea about the morning, just says, "Anna, can you explain the new process to everyone?"
Ooh, right now.
Right now. And the character's internal thought is just gold. It's, I was put on the spot.
That phrase is so useful. It perfectly describes being asked to perform with 0 time to prepare.
And because they were slammed and frazzled, the explanation they give is, well, it's messy.
So they realize they have to fix it right there in the meeting without losing their dignity, their self-respect.
And they use 2 phrases to do it. The first is to buy time,
Let me gather my thoughts.
which feels like such a power move.
It is. It's a totally acceptable way to just pause. It tells everyone, I'm taking this seriously enough to get it right. It shows confidence, not weakness.
And the second phrase is using backtrack again. But this time, it's not physical.
No, it's verbal. It's to correct or clarify what they just said. It's about being transparent that you're self-correcting.
And you put them together for this amazing professional recovery line. Let me gather my thoughts and backtrack a little so I can explain it clearly.
And the lesson is so important. You are allowed to slow down. You're allowed to correct yourself. This gets another 9 out of 10 because the language gives you control. You didn't panic, you managed the moment.
Okay, so we've survived the day, we've made it to the end, and the character's brain feels like, I love this phrase, overcooked pasta.
Just limp and useless. All those little things, the snooze, the bus, the Wi-Fi, they've all piled up.
And this leads to a really important realization.
I needed to decompress.
And decompress is so much better than just relax.
No, absolutely. It implies a process. You're slowly releasing all that pressure like opening an overstuffed suitcase. The character makes a decision. No work emails on the ride home.
Setting a boundary.
A clear boundary. And they communicate it kindly with the evening rescue line. Hey, today was really intense. I just need to decompress for a while.
Which is so clear. It acknowledges the stress and sets an expectation for quiet time.
But the real insight, for me, was the reframing exercise at the very end. The character decides to turn their 8 out of 10 panic day into an 8 out of 10 recovery day.
How does that work, though? Isn't that just, lying to yourself?
It's not about ignoring what went wrong. It's about shifting the focus of your memory. So instead of thinking, I failed with the technology, they write, tech failed, but I stayed professional.
Ah, I see. It's focusing on the successful response, not the initial problem.
Exactly. It's the same day, but the story you tell yourself is about competence and recovery, not failure.
That makes so much sense. So let's use that idea to quickly run through the last few key vocabulary words.
Yeah, let's do a quick synthesis. We've already used flustered, nervous and confused. The goal of these lines is to prevent yourself from getting flustered.
And the next level up is frazzled. Tired, stressed, no patience. When you feel frazzled, that's when you need these rescue lines.
Then there's the external state, being overbooked, which leads to feeling slammed. Knowing those words helps you communicate your limits.
And the goal state, the ideal, is being composed, calm, and in control on the outside. And the magic here is realizing that using these phrases is what makes you look composed.
And that really brings it all together. The core insight here isn't that you can stop bad days from happening. You can't. You will hit snooze, Wi-Fi will fail.
That stuff is inevitable. But you can choose how you communicate in the middle of it. You can choose calmer, clearer, more strategic English.
These aren't just words on a list. They are tools that control how competent you appear to others.
And that's the real value for you, the learner. These rescue lines are small actions that save your professional dignity. They replace panicked, rambling apologies with clear, solution-focused updates.
Which is what being a professional is all about, even if you did sign a contract with your bed that morning.
So we'll leave you with a final thought, building on that reframing idea. If your day started going sideways right now, which single rescue line would you prioritize to keep your focus?
Would it be about managing time? I overslept. I'm on my way.
Or managing technology? My Wi-Fi is acting up. I'll rejoin in 2 minutes.
Or maybe managing that internal pressure. Let me gather my thoughts and backtrack a little.
Consider how choosing the right words to describe your situation helps you recover faster than just trying to fix the original mistake.
Because that's where the real power is.
We've done the deep dive. Now it's your turn to apply the knowledge. We'll see you on the next one. Take care.